The two captains here with me. The captain for the Kachanga Giants, Akram Subuga, and the captain for Nsonga Royals, Doka Abdushakul. The match umpire in Elmas Rest is here with us, and we've come for the toss. Heads is the call, and heads it is.
And they are doing what?
Doka, you've won the toss. Come through. You've won the toss. What are you going to be doing first, and why?
As I talked to my boss, you have to limit the batting side scores. So, you have to chase the score easily.
Your team has been struggling. What do you hope to change as you come into this game?
Nothing much, but we shall keep our touch with the bat.
Thank you so much, and all the best in the game. Akram, please come through. If you had won the toss, what were you going to do first, and why?
We wanted to bat first so that we set our target, which is defendable.
Now that you have the chance in your hands, which target is defendable that you'll be looking at?
140, 130.
Thank you so much, and all the best in the game.
Yeah.
Well, that is the news coming from the center. The Nsonga Royals have won the toss and opted to bowl first.
The skies are out this morning. The players are ready. The umpires are ready. We are into the third week of this tournament. Coming off 2 days, Saturday and Sunday as rest day. But then action will continue. As seen from the toss, the Nsonga Royals winning the toss and electing to bowl first. The statistics so far have been that the teams batting first have gone on to win the game, except on 4 occasions. Some players missing out from both teams, but we promised you live action coming up shortly. Trying to go for the inventive, and everyone else hugging the line. Goes high. And we will ball off from the forest end. Umpire Nalman Seroste standing in with umpire Elizabeth Nachibude. First ball of the match and an opportunity provided. Ball is landing safely. Welcome to the commentary box.
Thank you so much, Solomon. It's another bright day here at the SABULA Cricket Challenge T20 happening at the Florida Cricket Oval. Two sides that are both looking for a way of making a mark in this tournament are facing off. It's the Nsonga Royals up against the Kachanga Giants. The Nsonga Royals have won the toss and opted to bowl first. Ochen Peter with the opening over. That should be the ball there coming in from Ochen Peter. Just making sure that he sees it drifting on from Aliwalidawa, and it's a dot ball in the over. The Nsonga Royals bringing Tujuche Emmanuel into their lineup. Of course, Edwin Nwagawa being absent today alongside Perry Wazombe. But they will be hoping that the arsenal they have put can pick up something today here. The sun is out. No overcast conditions as we continue with the first over of this game. Beautifully guided to the gully area by Aliwalidawa to pick up another single. Mustafa Mutalibu not so much known with the gloves, but he is doing the glove work there. I thought Dr. Abdul Shakur could have been a better option because his trade is wicket-keeper batter. But then the bowler, Mutalibu Mustafa, is right there with the gloves.
A right hand and left hand combination of this opening pair. Of course, with the respective batter coming to the crease, the changes are plenty. No mid-wicket. Yeah, a fine leg out there, and the third man, the only two fielders out during this period of field restrictions.
No control in that shot. Just falling short of the field at point, and they sneak through for the single. Peter Ochen very disgruntled because he feels that the fielder backwards of point in Francis Ejok did not put any effort in trying to stop that ball or even take the catch. And in the end, it results into a dot ball, but it could have been a chance if effort was put on play.
Fielders need to move in with the bowler so that you're not coming off a dead start. Those balls certainly you'll have enough time to see them. Abdul Shakur Doka, the standing captain in the absence of Edwin Nwagaba. The Royals played 6, won 3 and lost 3. Ali Balida trying to play the inside out shot, going over the man at covers. Sometimes after a weekend and those 2 rest days, the juices take a while to flow. But final ball of the over, another bumper called wide by the umpire, and he will have to bowl that again.
Final ball of the over. And it's another dot ball there for Peter Ochen. 4 runs in his first over. And 4 for no loss is the score as we come to the end of the first over. Good work being done by the Nsonga Royals, just making sure that they keep the Kachanga Giants in check. And I think the plan for the Nsonga Royals is to try and make sure that they Doka Abdushakur bowls some quick overs before going in to keep. Will be coming in for the second over of the game. Spin early in the game, not giving him any room, and it's a dot ball for Doka Abdushakur to start off his over. That one goes to the pads, but clearly going down the leg. And not out will be the call from the umpire. Good work being done by Doka Abdushakur. He is the standing captain in the absence of Edwin Nwagaba. But he's just made sure that he keeps his team in the game.
A desperate shot because of those 2 earlier balls for McKenna. Not looking at what the bowler is bowling. No foot movement whatsoever, and another dot ball.
Good over there for Doka Abdushakur. 4 dot balls in the over already. Nearly carried to the fielder, but the half chance goes begging. They run through for the second run. He just got it drifting away from innocent Elvis Akena. And in the end, that double marks the end of the over. As we come to the end of the over, 6 for no loss is the score after 2 overs.
Great bowling partnership so far between Ochen and Abdul Shakur Doka. You would feel that I would bring in a slip, Ivan, because the way he was bowling in the first over, is bowling it at back of a length, and Ali Balida was trying to fish onto that, not confident in his stroke play.
Another swing and a miss there from Ali Balidawa, not stepping anywhere close to the ball, and he didn't really get close to it. Swung with power, but was nowhere in the frame. A fine leg and a third man for Peter Ochen because he's coming in for express pace. So you have to make sure that there is some backup for the wicket keeper. 1 off 5 for Balidawa Ali and 4 off 8 for innocent Elvis Akena. Beautifully guided, but straight to the fielder. Doka Abdul Shakur. Fine stop, just making sure that he doesn't give anything away to the Kachanga Giants.
Balida finally putting but the ball, gives him some more confidence because he's been playing and missing to Peter Ochen.
And it will be crucial for him to just look for that contact. Clever thinking there from Peter Ochen. He goes for a bouncer. Just trying to put Ali Walidawa in the check. But the bouncer is called wide by the umpire.
He's found some bounce off the pitch. Of course, the sun is out. Over the weekend as well, we had some trouble at the beginning of this tournament with rain, but it's now keeping away.
Yeah, the tournament condition is even becoming better. Beautifully guided there to covers. Francis said joke, not putting any effort. Here, that ball was going straight to him. He could have run in and make sure that he cuts it off, but in the end, they sneak the run under his nose. Another one. I love the placement there from Ali Walidawa. Plays it late and it is fumbled by the fielder. It runs all the way to the boundary, and that is the first boundary of the innings.
Well guided past the man at backward point. The fielder taking his eyes off the ball for just a single moment, and they pick up a boundary that is sometimes crashing to the bowler, coming in and putting all the effort in, and then the fielding is not up to scratch.
The fielder not making that quick reaction, and in the end it runs away. It will be another wide for Peter Ochen. And now when you look at that variation, the ball that he bowled outside off stump was just guided by Ali Walidawa to the boundary. So now Peter Ochen tries to crumple him for room, going for that body line, because he knows Ali Walidawa is not so good at pulling. But in the end, it strays and it continues going down, resulting into the wide. But there is a plan, whatever he's doing. Peter Ochen and Ali Walidawa have both played for the Uganda Under-19 team, the Baby Cricket Cranes. And they both went to Nigeria during that qualifier. So they somehow know each other.
Happened, played on same teams, played against each other countless times. So Ochen is aware to the weaknesses of Walidawa. It will be the final ball of this over. Good over so far.
Final ball of the over.
We'll end with a dot ball.
Eight runs off Peter Ochen's second over. His full spell has gone for 12. And as we come to the end of the third over, scoreboard reads 14 for no loss. It will be a full T20 affair on the cards. So for the fans who enjoy the SABULA, we'll be enjoying exciting action coming in. But Dr. Abdul Shakur returns for his second over. 4 dot balls in his first over and a double off the very final ball. He's the captain for the side. He gets the ball again and will be coming in from the road end.
Akena's head is up, doesn't move his feet to the line of the ball, continues missing.
This time round, he swings and connects. He goes for a slog, a bit tossed full by Doka Abdul Shakur. No protection in the deep and all the way to the boundary.
That ball outside the stumps gives Akina the chance to free his arms, sweeps it for the second boundary for this innings.
Another good placement there from Innocent Elvis Akena. I feel there should have been a run, but it's quickly set back by his putter because there's a fielder right at covers. They didn't want to go. Anybody that didn't want to go for the risk. Doka still trying to find something from the game. No foot movement, nothing whatsoever. Just throwing his bat all over, and it's a dot ball.
I feel that the catch is coming soon. Why? Because, as you say, Ivan, very, very poor foot movement.
That's edged, but there's no one to catch. If there was a slip, maybe the reward could have been different. And in the end, it runs into the gap, and they add another run on board. First time Alibadida will be facing Doka Abdul Shakur. Doka will be coming still right arm over for the left-handed Alibadida. He's been angling the balls in. You would feel that maybe if he came round, it could have been good for him. But Alibadida still finding his groove. Scored a half century in his very first game of this tournament, but still yet to make more runs. Rest use right to mid wicket, and they will take the single. That single marks the end of the over. 6 from the over, and after 4, 24 no loss is the score.
Ivan, certainly Ali Balida opening this tournament 2 weeks back with a blistering 50 in a rain over reduced game, scoring exactly 50, but has fallen on a lean path so far. And just a reminder, the first encounter between these two teams in this tournament, the Royals triumphed by 9 wickets in another reduced game. The Giants are the more confident side, having won their last match by 11 runs against the Warriors, scoring 43 for the loss of 2 wickets, and the Warriors unable to overhaul that. The Royals, in contrast, losing to the Strikers by 13 runs according to Duckworth-Lewis method.
That's the replay for that boundary which was scored in that previous over by Innocent Elvis Akena. Second one in the game. And there is a bowling change as Emmanuel Twijuche, who is just playing his very first game, has the ball. He is a batting all-rounder, but he can do some spin action. We're just hoping that he can keep the ballers in check. He used to bowl medium pace, but later on changed his trade. No effort there from Emmanuel Twijuche. That is over tossed, and Alibadida manages to bring up the second boundary in his name and the third in the match.
A better follow through from Twijuche, should have seen that straight into his hands, but powerfully struck straight back. Scoreboard keeps ticking for the Giants.
To fall and hit back out of the square. Emma will be happy that that full toss was not punished, because Alibadida is left-handed and he has the power. You look at, he was accessing that cow corner area which is vacant, but in the end it results into a dot ball. Long on, goes down to Emmanuel Tujuche. The wicketkeeper in Moses Achema, nowhere close to stopping that one. And it will be runs.
I still feel that Abdul Shakur could have still marshaled the troops from behind the stumps. Opportunity, ball going to the right hand side of the man at covers, doesn't hold on to that one. Another life given to Balidawa.
Clear, that was a chance, not control from that shot by Ali Balidawa. Somehow put fingers there, the fielder, but in the end the ball ran through and it results into another chance that has been put down. Ali Balidawa feeling a bit uncomfortable and he will receive some bit of medical attention. He must be having some pain in his groin. Current scoring rate is 5.79. 4.4 overs gone and 27 for no losses. The score, Innocent Alvis Akena at 10 of 14 and Ali Balidawa at 13 of 14. 2 more balls to play in the over, and this is match day number 11 of the SABULA Cricket T20 Challenge Cup happening here at the Florida Cricket Oval. Beautiful sights, many emerging players, many players who have played for the under 19, all making part in this prestigious tournament as they hope and wish to make a mark. It's at a brand new week. 7 minutes past 10 here in East Africa. As now we get back to the field of play. Emmanuel Tujuche coming right arm around the wickets for Innocent Elvis Akena. Swing and a miss. The wicket keeper very good of allowing many go past him. As another run is taken by the Kachanga Giants.
Moses Achema behind the stumps. A bowler by trade, trying to do a job for his team. Ivan, we're in the home stretch and all teams are jostling for a position as only the top 2 will continue on to the finals.
Chance to run, and the run is taken. 8 of Emma's first over, and as we come to the end of the 5th over, scoreboard reads 29 for no loss.
Mulindwa Christian is the bowling change from the highway end. Sends out deep mid wicket and long on. Has a gully point. Covers and long and mid off. Well within the slot, driven single. Ali Balidawa. straying way beyond the tram lines. Mulindwa. Shot fine removed and sent to gully. Appeal. Mulindwa targeting the leg stump of Ali Balidawa. Pick up another. Bye. One thing they've done in this over is to keep rotating strike. Don't let one batsman get bogged down on one end. Akena caught in between defending and pushing to that ball, doing neither, but that ball landing safely. Living on the edge, you feel, with Akena, but the Royals yet to pick up his wicket. This tournament is proudly sponsored by Kingsley Children's Medical Center in Mukono. Deep End Sports Media is the broadcasting and streaming partner. It is organized by Mukono Cricket Community and of course stewarded by Cricket Uganda. Plays that one off his feet. Could have picked up 3, but there is some injury concern for Ali Balidawa. Managing that at the moment.
Ali Balidawa playing for Centurions Cricket Club. They were out in action yesterday taking on Ginger SS down in Ginger. He might have gotten the injury from there, but then he manages to come up for the Kachanga Giants, trying to just find the runs for them. And that single marks the end of the power play. Christian Mulindwa's over has gone for 6 runs, and as we come to the end of 6 overs, the power play scoreboard reads 37 for no loss. The Kachanga Giants taking great use of that power play and making sure that they don't give away any wickets. They'll be just hoping that they can accelerate through and get a little more runs, come out and bowl to them and make sure that they defend.
A very healthy run rate as we've seen so far throughout the tournament these past 2 weeks. 6 is quite good, should see you over the 120 runs mark, which is almost near the past score being about 135, 140. Get that on board and you're in business. Trijucho will continue from the forest end for his second over. Good line now. Drawing Balidawa forward. Sends out the long off and long on. Deep mid wicket. Bowling stump to stump. So Balidawa has to play those ones. Make sure he's making that contact. And the moment he goes wider, he's punished. A very lazy effort in the field. And the Royals will be guilty. As we have another look at that.
Overcompensated, and another misfield gives the Giants another opportunity of runs. Their body language has not been real so top in this game. They've given away many. They'll be just hoping that they can improve down the leg, and it will be wide from the umpire. More runs onto the cards for the Kachanga Giants.
When you talk about the body language, obviously their captain missing, Edwin Wagaba, man who leads from the front, do as I do person. So you feel that his absence is being felt this moment. Abdul Shakul Doka will have to marshal the troops, get in their ears. Persisting with that ball on the leg stump, but going wide. The ball not turning, not picking any patches off the wicket so far. Very good call from Innocent Akena to pick up one. I think inside edge, they take advantage. And it will be the final ball. Changes to right arm round to Akena to create that angle. The expectation is for him to bowl that ball going across. But he has no sleep. A quicker one. And they pick up a leg by to bring us to the end of the 7th over. The score is 45 runs for no loss. Balidawa now at 23 in 24. Akena steadily at 11 in 18. You feel that the acceleration is coming any moment now from the Giants. Ivan, we had plenty of action over the weekend in the Cricket Uganda 50 overs league. In all the divisions, the bronze, the gold, bronze A, bronze B, gold and silver. What was the standout performance for you?
Well, thank you so much, Solomon. When you look at the weekend action in our domestic league here in Uganda, match day number 3, but Tornado Bees, that cruising form in the Division 1, they have won 2 games from the 2 that they have played, and they are really proper contenders for me. Well, also because the national team was traveling to Namibia for the Tri-Nation Series, not so many players took part in the league. But that fixture between Mukono Warriors and Tornado Bees should be the standout for me. They made sure that they welcome Mukono Warriors to the Division 1. A 6-wicket win for the Tornado Bees. But in the other fixtures, All-Rounders managing to beat Abojo by 6 wickets. Catch Tigers B beating St. John's by 239 runs. What a game it was. 288. As now the first wicket for the Kachanga Giants goes. Mulindo Christian providing the breakthrough. Innocent Alvis Akena trying to create room to play on the onside. In the end, he misses. Furniture rearranged. And the first one for the Kachanga Giants goes 47 for 1.
No foot movement whatsoever. The ball pitching on the off stump cleans him up. Trying to go across instead of playing in line with the ball. First one, Mulindwa with a breakthrough. Ball not turning at all. Mulindwa picks up his first wicket in this match and in the tournament. short of Akena making his way to the dressing room. It's surprising how long he kept there, but he's done a good job for the team. Well applauded by the whole dressing room. Ivan, the man with the information, but still needing some prompting from me to talk about that big announcement.
Yeah, the big announcement, of course, was the arrival of the Kenyan legend Stephen Tikolo returning to Uganda as a coach. It's his third stint. He's been here 2 times already, and now he returns what he calls home, because Uganda is in East Africa, so as his home country, Kenya. And I tell you, today at about 2 p.m, Stephen Tikolo, the coach was unveiled on Friday, was right on the Airbus that is on its way to Windhoek, Namibia, where they'll be taking part in that interesting series. But Victor Mugisha is the new batter in. He comes and he gets off the mark right away.
Of course, the Pamoja Brotherhood. Steve is a very fondly thought of coach in the Ugandan circles. Man, right at the start of the professionalizing of this game here in Uganda. It is well deserved, as prophets could have seen that as soon as he resigned from the job in Nigeria. So it was, and the coaching position being vacant in Uganda, so it was easily predictable. But it is good to see him, a man who almost gave me my international debut, save for exams. So good to see coach back.
There's a no ball call there from the umpire. And the free hit is dispatched away, but there is a fielder for just one. Ali Walidawa will have his tool to blame. As the saying says, a bad workman. But 50 runs come up for the side. 7.4 overs gone, and the scoreboard reading 50 for a loss of 1. Should be wide from the umpire. Not within the tram lines. And now the scoring rate for the Kachanga Giants rising up from 5. It's now 6.65. Inside out shot will land safe. Work to do by the fielder, and the batters will be happy to only take a single run. I feel a little more pressure could have given them a chance of sneaking through for the second.
Definitely, but remember that Balidawa is nursing an ego, so the running is running gingerly. But Mulindwa Christian with the final ball of his second over, right in the slot, driven well by Balidawa. And despite the efforts of the young man, the fielder not indicating to the umpire, who does not have the benefit of what we do have here in the comms box. Oh, certainly the ball didn't cross. Very good work from the young man. I thought the man was going against the spirit of the game, but it is the end of the 8th over. 54 for the loss of 1. The Kachanga Giants against the Nsonga Royals. The Royals winning the toss in this contest, electing to ball first. These two teams, Ivan, having a matching record, and it is only net run rate separating from them on the table. Played 6, won 3, lost 3. all, and there is a bowling change from the Forest end. Mutwalib comes into the attack.
Yeah, Mustafa Mutwalib started this game as a wicket keeper before handing over the pads and gloves to Achema, but is very much known for that seamless action. He bowls some good express pace, but the first one will be judged way, just angling away from the batter, and it's a wide to start off his over. Mustafa Mutwalib.
Swing and a miss from Mugisha. Roger Mukasagali Wango, former Ugandan international, was in the runs, certainly scoring a century in the encounter.
Not only he was in the cricket cranes, but he has also ever captained the side. He's currently the leading run scorer in the Division 1 here in Uganda, Roger Mukasagali Wango. One of the talented players. When I was reading the story of Kenneth Kamioka, he spoke about him as one of the explosive batters of our times, of the heyday, and one who needed to be taken care of. But he's also the coach for the emerging team. His young brother was back on pitch yesterday playing for Tornado Cricket Club in Lawrence Sematimba. I beg your pardon, his elder brother.
Certainly.
Lawrence Sematimba.
Yes, Lawrence Sematimba featuring for Tornado. It is good to see Tornado back. They've had some troubles, missed out on the leagues, so it was a good welcome for Tornado against Mukono Development side, managing to win by 102 runs, set 218.
Up in the air, it doesn't roll onto the boundary. Alibalidawa losing anger, but in the end that didn't go anywhere. 2 more to the total.
In that match, Tornado against Mukono Development, Lawrence Sempija scoring a useful 80, anchoring the side.
I tell you, in the fine batters and all-rounders all-rounders that I have seen in Uganda, Lawrence Sempija is really one of them who didn't play for the national team quite long. He didn't play so many games because he got somehow frustrated. But he's really one of the talented batters that Uganda has ever produced.
I feel the way cricket is, all any sport, there's a point in time when you have a large crop of players and the competition is quite fierce. So if you don't work your hardest, you might miss out. But Mutwalibi's first over is completed, conceding only 5. 9 overs done and dusted. 59 for the loss of 1 for the Kachanga Giants. And there is a bowling change from the highway end. Ivan takes the ball, starts off with the half tracker, going down the leg, and he will have to come again. Ivan, things that happened in this tournament last week, your highlights.
I think my highlight was the back-to-back centuries from Robert Owili in the week, carrying his bat through and making sure that he puts his team as contenders of the finals in this tournament. But then the Katosi strikers, who have looked a very fine team, finally losing a game because most of their players were absent. What a week it was here at Sabula.
Indeed, we have promised action, turns, spills and thrills, and we have certainly produced on that end. Katosi strikers, early pace setters, finally meeting the Saji Warriors, team that finally got off the mark in this tournament. And a no ball indicated by umpire Rustin Alumansi. Bowler changing the end to right arm of round, not indicating schoolboy errors. And it's Kaya from Ali Balidawa. Opportunity missed. That ball was high in the air for a long time, and the first logo delivery of this over. Such overs usually claim wickets. Starts out with extras, and then when he gets one in the slot, opportunity. But as highlight shows, not taken. The young man struggling with his lines. 3 extras so far in his over.
I love the fact that he is now organized his lines and is just bowling the good areas. Still making sure that he keeps his side in things. 66 for 1 after 9.2. Is not very far away, but the scoring rate has been rising up. It was 5 in the power play, it went to 6, and now it is 7.07. That's it up in the air. Chance to catch by the wicket keeper. Gets hold onto that one, and the second one for the Kachanga Giants goes.
Ivan, I told you, young man finally picking his lines. Mugisha Victor trying to play across to that one. Ball's pitching on the leg side. Tries to glance it. Only manages top edge. Skyer. Moses Achema picks up. Steadied himself well. Relaxed and calm. Completes the catch. 2 wickets down so far for the Kachanga Giants, posting 6-6 in the process. Ali Balida with a few words in the ear of the new batter, John Paul Waswa. One in the block hole. First up to John Paul. A very vacant slip and gully region of third man. Same with the leg side. Draws his man forward. And one ball to complete this over. Finishes up well with a dot ball, having started with 3 extras. Ivan picks up 1, concedes 5. Halfway done through the first innings of this encounter between the Kachanga Giants and Nsonga Royals. Score is 67 for the loss of 2. Ali Balidawa still there. Look at some of those highlights of the boundaries that the Royals have conceded and the wickets that have been picked. Mustafa continues from the forest end. Balida swings to 1 outside of his off stump. It's a dot ball. Mustafa sends out long off and long on. Deep mid wicket to Balidawa. Has a third man out there. Boundary riders. Another boundary to Balidawa. That ball spinning and going beyond, almost past that ball, and the result is there for all to see. I feel this is the phase that the Giants should utilize, get to the 100 mark, and then intelligent play, realizing there is no man at slips and in the gully, guides that one through to pick up another single. Sometimes all you need are the street smarts. picks up another single, drop and run. You feel that Ali Balidawa is right in the mood. He has had a lean spell with the bat. After that half century, he scored. He's gone out in the mid 20s and 30s. Straight down the ground, holds the pose. The man in the deep keeps that to 1. And that brings us to the end of the 11th over. The score is 74 for the loss of 2 wickets.
Ali Balidawa still sticking in and making sure that he scores the runs. 37 off 37. Scoring rate of 100. Good work there being done by him. 6.78 is now the asking rate. 74 for 2 after 11. You feel that the Kachanga Giants have made sure that they stick in and they stitch runs together.
Emmanuel Trijuche changes bowling ends, now coming out in from the highway end. He has bowled 2 so far, picked up no wicket, conceded 15. Looks to continue to do a good job for his captain. Sends out long off, long on. Ali Balidawa at the beginning of this match day number 11. After 6 innings, he had total runs of 131s at an average of 26.2. No pace on offer as Balidawa tries to guide that one through the slips, but only manages to find Gary. A dot ball, a very vacant mid-wicket area would do to as he tries to play it there. All the men on the leg side, on the boundary. Good fielding work from Emma Trijuche. That ball cannoning into his hands onto the stumps. John Paul would be glad that his bat was already in the crease. Slower one. Balidawa plays it inside out. Can't go beyond the ropes. Keeps it at 2. Good fielding in from Peter Ochen. You feel that with Balidawa off strike, the field comes in to John Paul Waswa. All the fielders are hugging the inside ring. Covers comes in quite close to the strip. Right arm round. Flighted ball, and that is wide. We'll have to bowl that again. We apologize for the graphics on your screen. Another wide as Tujuche tries to overcompensate. Balls the other one to the leg side. Good running in between wickets. Right arm over to the right-handed John Paul. Half tracker plays forward. The bowlers realizing that with John Paul they can keep him there, pick up some dot balls, create more pressure that when Balidawa gets back onto strike, he has to compensate for those runs missed in that over. But we have come to the end of the 12th over. The score is 74 runs for the loss of 2 wickets. Molindwa returns to the bowling, coming from the forest end. Great work, struck powerfully. Right back to him by Ali Balidawa. Felt he was not ready. Dead ball indicated by umpire Elizabeth Nachibuli. What an opportunity to get to the mark in this tournament in their umpiring careers. Long off in business as that ball is driven. Ball in the slot to hit. The appeal comes in. Umpire disagrees that that ball will now have hit wicket. No power in the shot. Another dot ball. This is turning out to be an inspired change by the captain. Sends out a silly mid-off in Emmanuel Tujuche. Final ball of the over. Opportunity to take a catch. Mulindwa unable to hold on to that one. Punches it in the air. But another dot ball. Just one run coming off that over. The score is 75 runs for the loss of 2 after 13 overs. Great shot of the scoreboard there in the previous frame. Abdul Shakul Doka comes in. coming from the highway end to replace Emma Twijuche. Starts off with a slower one. Dot ball. Opportunity to catch, he says to the wicket keeper. But don't blame the young man, as his trade is a bowler. Half tracker. That is wide. Direct it after Ali Balidwa calling John Paul. Results in a run out. Three wickets now down for the Kachanga Giants. And the score is 77 on the board. As we take another look at that, Balidawa following that wideish ball, balled across him. First opportunity to run out. Doka doesn't collect cleanly and it goes. Balidawa calls the young man not in the frame whatsoever, and he will have to depart. Dive coming in vain. All action happening out there in the middle. This is Florida Cricket Oval down here in Kokonjeru. The oval that has hosted all the games in this SABULA T20 Cricket Challenge 2026. Proudly brought to you by Kingsley Children's Medical Center in Mukono. Deep End Sports Media streaming and broadcasting partners, organized by Mukono Cricket Community, and of course under the watchful eye of Cricket Uganda. This tournament was organized to give opportunity to the youngsters, as very many engagements are upcoming for them this year. Teams need to be selected for the under-19s, so this gives them opportunity. They have been playing with established players from the emerging side, under-19 side, and Uganda A, and they must have picked up a lesson or two in the tournament. This tournament obviously being streamed every single game, and please follow on the Deep End Sports TV YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow all the sponsors and organizers on their socials. But new man in is Akram Subuga, the captain for the Giants. He will join Ali Balidawa, still there right from the start. Finds the gap. Some soccer skills on display. Pick up one. John Paul. What's wrong? Flights that one into the block hole. Abdul Shakul Doka fields to his own bowling. Akram Subuga right off the mark. A very vacant mid-wicket area. Long on hugging Longon and Cow Corner. Balidawa rightfully turns down that Akram Subug, of course, fleet-footed. 1 ball to complete this over. Flighted. Hit to mid-off. Peter Chen will complete the fielding, bringing us to the end of the 14th over. Only 3 coming off that Abdul Shakul Doka over. The score is now 80 for the loss of 3 runs. You feel that the Giants should now step onto the gas as they still have some men out there in the heart. So Mulindwa continues from the forest end. Keeps that to a dot ball. Using the pace of that ball. Pick up 2. Boundary for Ali Baliwada. And he inches closer and closer towards that personal milestone. Ball flighted wide line outside the stumps, right in the slot for the man. Good running, put some pressure on the fielder. Unable to pick up quickly. Pick up only 1 this time. Akram has not had a lot of the strikes so far, doing most of the running for his partner. Some adjustments brings short fine to third to Gali there. Missed out on that one. Mulindwa. Precious dot ball. One ball to complete the third over from Mulindwa. Follows it, cuts it, but the chase is on. Keeps that to 2 so far. Great work from the deep by the captain himself, Abdul Shakul Doka. "15 overs done and dusted. 89 runs on board for the Kachanga Giants, who were put in by the Nsonga Royals to bat first and set a total. There has been a stutter in their innings. 30 more balls, yes. And another bowling change from the highway end. Emmanuel Trijuche will come to complete his allotment of overs. Hasn't picked up a wicket so far.
Yeah, now when he comes into bowl, he changes bowling ends. He will be coming in from the Roddy end, as the Nsonga Royals still hope and wish that they can get another wicket. And the only wicket to get is Ali Walidawa's wicket. That's driven down the ground. The fielder trying to run off very quickly. And in the end, it's a placement in the gap. And what you were telling me about Solomon, Nsonga Akram could have been coming in to bat a little bit early in this game. But he's been coming very late. And trying to... sometimes it takes about... because he's the captain and also one of the senior members in the team, he doesn't want to carry the responsibility. He wants to shift the blame to other players and say, I gave the batters a chance to bat. But then you see the scores there, 92 for 3 after 15.1. They'll be hoping that they can make sure that they reduce the runs leakage.
Trijuche adjusts his field, but I don't think it is more to blame, but more to give them responsibility. Uses his feet to that one. The man out in the deep keeps that one. So it is a good ploy as well, but sometimes it will cost you. As you say that by the time he comes in, they feel like the innings have stagnated a bit and they need to push from the off.
And now what he will be looking at is making sure that his team gets off a good total, so that by the time the youngsters come, they have something to ride on. 93 for 3, not so bad, but they'll be hoping they can complete well. Beautifully driven by Balidawa Ali. Even though boundaries are not coming the way of the Kachanga Giants at the moment, they've made sure that they keep getting the runs milking through the infield.
Very responsible batting from Balidawa today. Of course, carrying that small nego, but he's still there from the start. Soboga Akram goes aerial. Abdul Shakul Doka unable to judge that ball well. Trickles over the boundary for another 4. Caught in between attacking. That ball went over his head.
Yeah, not too much good judgment there from Doka Abdul Shakul. He thought he could recover, but in the end he was a little late. Akram Soboga bringing up a boundary. 8 of 6 for him. And Ali Walidawa was taking his time to grow in the innings. He's still on 48 of 53. Hits hard. Gets elevation but not distance. And there's a fielder right underneath the ball. Mustafa Mtalibi gets hold on to the chance. And he disappointed. He's Akram Soboga, but you have to make the long walk back. He felt he had hit it quite well enough. But in the end just didn't manage to take it over. Mutwalibu Mustafa.
Losing his shape there, as you can see, creating room for himself. Only manages a skyer. Mustafa catching the Australian way to send him back. Waited for that ball. His body behind the ball, catches it high. Another one falls for the Kachanga Giants. A pensive dugout in your frame. A disconsolate captain making his way back to the hut. 98 for the Another loss of 4 for the Kachanga Giants.
And I think with another wicket falling there for the Kachanga Giants gives an opportunity to the Nsonga Royals to make sure that they dim the lights even further. Trevor Kachanga is the new batter who has made his way into the to the crease. So they can get rid of him very quickly. But now the wicket for them to get is Ali Balidawa's wicket, because Ali Balidawa has been looked so composed in the game, 48 of 53. And if they see him off, it means they can have the Kachanga Giants where they want them. But as for now, the Kachanga Giants are in things.
I feel that a score of 120 should be enough for the Giants. Of course, the Royals missing some of their big guns, Perry Wazombe and the captain Nwagaba Edwin. So the troops that are left, you feel that they are manageable. But Trevor Kachanga is the new batter in.
Work to do. 98 for 4. Final ball of the over. Emmanuel Tuche finally getting a wicket. Not very good in the frame, but in the end, he doesn't allow it go all the way to the wickets. And that dot ball marks the end of Emmanuel Tuche's spell. He's bowled 4 overs, conceding 27 runs and picking up a single wicket. As we come to the end of the 16th over, scoreboard reading 98 for a loss of 4 wickets.
Tujuche making his first appearance in this SABULA T20 cricket challenge. So is the young man was bowling from the other side, Christian Mulindwa. Balidawa is the man carrying his side, giving the youngster some pointers. Don't play across. Mulindwa Christian in your frame with the physio. Balida should get most of the strike. The captain saying that I have seen enough of the spinners. Yes, they have carried the day throughout this tournament, but in comes back his gun bowler Peter Ochen from the Forest End, coming in right arm round. That single marks another personal milestone for Ali Balidawa. Man in the runs again, once again. 50 not out. Raises his bat to all parts of the oval. A dugout loud in its applause for their star.
I think it's a good idea there to bring Peter Ochen to bowl in the death, because these overs, the Kachang Giants will be looking to accelerate, and now there he comes in, Peter Ochen, making sure that he keeps them in check. He's bowled 2.2 overs, wicketless, but his economy is only considered 14 runs, and he will be hoping that he can wrap up things very nicely.
Balida takes defensive action. Ball that shot to a back of length, right within the body. And you find that most batters are pinned, nowhere to run, nowhere to go, and sometimes it results into injury. But well seen by Ali.
100 runs coming up for the side. Those three magical figures will be something for them to celebrate. They keep on getting the runs and hoping that they can come back and bowl well to them. Ali Balida will be returning with the ball, so he will just be hoping that I can come out and bowl very nicely for the team to make sure that they get those runs. Kachanga has not been controlling the ball very well, but he's made sure that he sticks in, making sure that he keeps the runs flowing.
Better from Chanja. Should keep out that ball, obviously, but as we've seen him in the past, tries to move out of the way of that ball. So up to the task so far. Final ball of the over. Bouncer right in the ribs from Ochen to bring us to the end of this over. 101 for the loss of 4 after 17, as Chanja down on his knees will get some attention. Just a recap from the beginning of the day. Nsonga Royals winning the toss and choosing to bowl first. Asked the Giants, what have you got and what will you put on the board? They are still in the process, and just 3 overs will see us to the end of the first innings. A look at the highlights there will show you the boundaries and the wickets so far. Ali Balida has been there since the first ball.
Yeah, that was a celebration of the half century there by Ali Balida, going for the gun salute, gunshots, as he celebrates another mark in the tournament. Kachanga looking uncomfortable. He will have to walk off to go and receive some more medical attention, and he will be returning later. Not very good scenes for his team, but in the end he will have to make a long way. Retired hat, but he will come back later.
Of course, Trevor Mack not moving out of that bouncer. Hit him squarely in the ribs. Rakib Mbaine will be the new man.
Mbaine Rakib is the new man in, replacing Trevor Kachanga. Trevor Kachanga can still come back and bat because he wasn't out. He's just going for the medical attention. So anytime he feels he's ready, the field of play is ready. But Mbaine Rakib, another handy spinner, but not someone who could cause a lot of trouble with the bat, would be the new man in.
Other batters coming in are just, they should come in to support Ali Balida. He has done an excellent job. He will be on strike, so, and when you get opportunity to face the bowlers, just keep that ball out. change of bowling end as Mustafa returns from the highway end. Starts off with the dot ball, that ball going wide.
When you look at that stance where he was standing, clearly shows you that he had gone close to the ball. So the umpire would not be faulted for not calling that one. Mutwalibu Mustafa is the bowler currently with the ball steaming in from the road end. Swings hard Ali Walidawa, but misses that one completely. It was nowhere close to his arc. And those are very beautiful lines being bowled by Mutwalibu Mustafa. Yoka length outside of stump. Nothing for the batter to hit.
Walidawa right down on his knees trying to get to the pitch of that ball. 2 dot balls, some pressure. No runs yet in this over. Tries to go inventive. The ball right on the money. Walidawa dismissed. 2 balls, dot balls, creating pressure.
Yeah, some good adjustment of pace and variation there from Mutwalibu Mustafa. He had 2 balls swinging away from Ali Walidawa right at the start of the over, and he managed to nip one back. Rattling the furniture, and the man who's carried his bat through for the side makes his way back to the heart. 50 is what he has scored. Trying to go inventive. Wickets exposed, and Mutwalibu Mustafa brings up another wicket for the side.
Bowling that across him rather than from wide, like in the previous 2 balls. Walidawa guilty of not going on to score more runs when it goes beyond the 50. But you cannot begrudge a man who scored a half century. Just some few things to think about. Should be right there on top of the bowling, of the batting charts. Started with just over 130 total runs in the tournament so far. Of course, it is Robert Owiri that is leading these charts, and you cannot be questioning why. I wish I had that shot for you from the camera guys, because he's out there in the nets on this ground practicing. So clearly a man who knows he has something to work with.
He just hopes that he can score more runs for the team, and he's just making sure that he keeps the hard work.
Arafat Dule, the new man in, and it is a rebuilding job by the tailenders. The Giants having quite a long tail. And you spoke, going back to that point of Soboga Akram not coming at the top of the what. The moment it gets in, it exposes a long tail that his side has. But they will have to do the batting now.
With the 2 new batters at the crease, Arafat Dule, Rakibu Mbaine, both at the crease. The Nsonga will be just hoping that they can wrap up the innings and not give away many runs, because clearly this is the business end for them. and they have already made good work. Mustafa Mutwali will be coming into ball. It's not been a bad over for him, and he can swing the ball both ways. So look at the first balls that delivered to the left-handed Ali Balidawa. The ball is swinging away from him, and now for Arafat Lule, he still drifts away from him, which could have been an in-swing if Ali Balidawa, the left-handed batter, was there. Good areas being bowled by Mutwali Mustafa. He knows the task at hand, and just making sure that he doesn't give anything away. Edged but doesn't go anywhere. Another dot ball in the over.
He's shortened his run up to that ball, and he's working with bowling that into the wickets.
Final ball of the over. No runs so far in the over. A dream over for the Nsonga Royals. But the wicket keeper very casual in his pickup, and they will take the bye run. Doesn't count to Mutwali Mustafa's over, and it's a wicket maiden over. As we come to the end of the 18th, 102 for 5 is the score.
Ivan, it's surprising that Abdul Shakul Doka did not pick up the gloves, having bowled himself at the beginning of this what. But it would be Moses Achema to come in for the first end. Chema with his medium pacers. He's been trusted with the ball at the back end of the innings.
Moses Achema, who has also kept at one moment in the game, will now come into ball. He is the one of the three keepers that the team has so far used. No control in that shot. Mutwali Mustafa with work to do, goes for a direct hit but misses. And in the end, a run is taken.
Top edge from Lule Arafat, well known to Moses Achema, a man who has taught him some cricket while they were both students at Kono Kings High School. Achema now moving to a different school in A-level.
Good areas, good lines. They are being bowled by Moses Achema. We'll be hoping that he can keep bowling those areas. This time it's full and driven down the ground, but there is a fielder with work to do. And I think at the moment, the Nsonga Royals will feel that as long as they're not conceding boundaries, the game is still in reach.
Certainly so. Boundaries have been in short supply in this innings. But back to Achema, a man who loves cricket, and he has chosen cricket as the sport he's staked his cut to.
Beautiful from Achema, one for the eyes. Just gets it angling away from Arafat Lule. Arafat swings, but doesn't get anywhere close. Arafat Lule and Moses Achema are OBs, and they are also schoolmates, both from Kono Kings now to Uganda Matters. And they all have some bursaries there from that school. They're trying to run very after hitting that one, though there was no conviction in the shot. And in the end, he's sent back by his partner.
Great call from Rakib, realizing that Arafat was trying to play hit and run The fielders picking up that quickly. Dot balls has been the business for Moses. One ball in
Rattles the furniture. Another clean ball there from Moses Achema. What a way to wrap up his over. He's only given away 2 runs and he's made sure that he gets rid of Arafat Rule. And his side picks up another wicket. Good bowling there from Moses Achema.
finally picking up rewards. As you said, he started this innings behind the stumps, doing a job that is not used to for the side, but getting what the ball moving off the pitch into the man right within the wickets. Just rewards. Fair trier. Well done, Moses Achema. "19 overs completed, 104 runs for the loss of 6 for the Kachanga Giants, asked by the Royals this morning to start off proceedings. Ali Balidawa came in with Innocent Akena for the first partnership stand, only departing after scoring a 50 in the 17th over. The only notable contribution from that Giant side, but they will feel that they are within this match, as the Royals are missing some big guns in Perry Wazombi and Edwin Wagaba. But there is some batting in their side. Abdul Shakul Doka, Emmanuel Trijuche, Peter Ochen, certainly. And the youngsters, if they were to come to the party, would make it a tight affair. But final over, Abdul Shakul Doka, standing captain, coming from the highway end.
Yeah, he's been handy, but that's the man who has been scoring runs in the tournament, in Robert Owili, wearing the Pak Shaheen's jersey. That green jersey, it is his domestic club. Doka Abdul Shakul starting off his final over with a dotty ball. And also that man there, Robert Owili, trying to teach youngsters a thing or two on how to bat. Rakibu Mbaine not getting the gaps. What could have been a 120, 130 score has now stuck in the 104s. And they will be just hoping that they can wrap up the innings very nicely.
No ball indicated by umpire Rostan Alumans. Free hit indicated for Mbaine Rakib to hit.
Beautiful. Plays it down the ground and they take the run. He knew it was the ball to hit and he went for power.
Very dangerous move from him while he was getting into the crease on that run, jumping to the ball coming from the fielder. And yet it is the only way you can be out of a free hit, taking evasive action. But Joseph will take the stance to face his first ball in this innings. Ivan rightly saying that this innings has started. They look to be set for about 120, 130. Swing and a miss. Another dot ball.
Fine work being done by Doka Abdishakul, because they know they'll need to wrap up the over very nicely. He's making sure that he keeps nothing away. Pass off. And another dot ball in the over. I love the cries from the dugout trying to instruct the batters to swing hard. But then this is not a training ground, this is a match time. Flighted. And just hit right under the nose of Moses Achema. They will sneak through for the run. Doka dejected because he feels that could have been a certain dirty ball, and that single marks the end of the innings for the Kachanga Giants.
Coming back will be the highlights and the bowling and batting cards.
We'll take a quick look at the highlights as we get ready to come up with the second innings of this game. The bright sky is here at Florida Cricket Oval as we get back to the second innings of this game. A game for the Kachanga Giants to lose. Clearly they have a chance given the fact that they have scored some runs in the first innings. They'll be just hoping and wishing that they can wrap up the innings very nicely. Time to carry the bats as the batters make their way to the crease, and the two umpires in this game, Elizabeth Nachibule alongside Reste Nalumas, we'll be hoping that they take us through this interesting affair. Akramun Subuga, the captain for the Kachanga Giants, will be bowling the first over of this run chase, making sure that he finds something early in the game, because he knows his team did not put so many runs, so the runs that they did get on board will only be good if they can bowl well. Match day 11 of the SABULA Cricket T20 Challenge Cup here at Florida Cricket Oval. Action still continuing as we now get towards the business end of the tournament. Two fixtures on the card. Katose Strikers will take on Chitamba Sunrisers in the afternoon. Well, my name is Evan Sajabi here in the comms, and I'm not alone. I have Solomon Wamachugoz here with me. Solomon, good afternoon and welcome back from the break. But let's first see what happens in the first ball. It's a dot ball. What do you make of the proceedings so far?
Thank you very much, Ivan. The Giants will feel that they are still in this game, past the 100 runs mark. Yes, they wanted to match the pass score, were unable to. Ali Balida coming through with a 50. But as we have been harping on about missing Peru Azombe and Edwin Nwagaba, the Royals, so two wides in succession from Subuga Akram at the beginning of the second innings.
Ali Walidawa carried the bat in the first innings, bringing up a half century. And I tell you, the Nsonga will also wish that one out of their batters can carry them through the game. First runs on board. Nice placement there from the batter, finding that gap back out of the square, near the square leg area. and they will feel that they are now starting to find their groove.
A very searing day out there in the middle now, the high noon sun. But don't be surprised to see showers in the afternoon. Ivan, we are just a few kilometers away from the lake shores. So weather patterns are quite unpredictable. But that ball right on the money from Subuga Akram, full of tricks, not only with the ball in hand, but also some choice words at times to put the batter off his pace.
Thick edge. The wicketkeeper flying hard, but doesn't manage to stop that one. The effort from the fielder in the deep, not enough. And first boundary for the Nsonga Royals in this run chase.
The second innings with the Giants ball in hand, thick outside edge, diving effort from the wicketkeeper Ali Validawa, and the man in the deep not keeping that ball within the ropes. It is a feisty affair. You can feel both dugouts now up on their feet and encouraging their troops. Right on the money from Subuga Akram.
Yeah, one more ball in the over by Nsonga Akram as we continue with this run chase. Beats him for all money, and in the end it will be a dot ball from Akram Nsonga to complete the over. As we come to the end of the first over, scoreboard reads 7 for no loss. The ripple of that last delivery. Innocent Elvis Akeda will come in to bowl the second over. Just hoping that he can carry it from where Akram Nsonga has left it.
Moses Achema together with Abdul Shakul Doka, the opening pair for the Nsonga Royals.
In the contest of the game, 7 runs coming off the first over really positions and Innocent Elvis Akeda coming in for Moses Achema. Beautiful ropes coming in from Innocent. Achema Moses nowhere close to that ball, trying to follow it with the bat, and in the end it's just a dirty ball.
I will tell you in no uncertain terms, Moses Achema is not an opener by trade, but as I told you, he's a trier. He's somebody you give a job on the pitch and they will come out, try to do a job. Not presenting his bat fully to make any contact with the ball. Two dot balls on the trot for Akena Elvis. He has found a line just outside of stump. He's keeping to it. More dot ball pressure. A very loud field of the Kachanga Giants, encouraging the man with every single ball, trying to create a very high pressure situation for the batters. And you can see how Akena is coming in full of vigor.
beautiful lines being bowled by Akena. He's known that these batters are not moving their feet, Moses Achema in particular, and that's why Achema is just keeping it outside off stump to make sure that if he is to concede anything, it should be on the offside, and his protection is backward of the square. Third man and fine leg.
I would put for him a slip. The line he has chosen to bowl at, and the man playing and missing finally makes some contacts. Rakib Mbaine covers, keeps that to 1. Final ball of the over. A great over. Dot, 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 dot.
Yeah, just dot balls from Akena Elvis Innocent as he comes in for his final ball. Dot ball, no runs from the over. It's a maiden over. Very, very good in the contest of the Kachanga Giants. As we come to the end of the over, 7-1 is the score. Big opponent is 7 for no loss.
That previous Akena over, all the time, the 4 balls that Achema played to, he was presenting a twisted bat tilted to the side, prone to finding the edges. Sobuga Akram returns. That's off with 1 going down the leg. Some minimal contact with the batter. Pick up some runs. Very shortened run up from Sobuga Akram. 1, 2, 3, 4 paces. Going wide over Chema, who should just choose the pace of the ball. The slip region is free. No gully. Turns on that one finally. Makes contact. Picks up 1. Well placed by Abdul Shakul Doka, trying to pull that. Hits the bottom of the pad. Way beyond the Lego provisions. Sobuga Akram strays. That is wide. An effort ball.
Yeah, Sobuga Akram returning for his second over, just making sure that he keeps doing the good work. Gave a 7 in the first over, and he's just making sure that he goes through his action. But his only issue has been those wides outside the off stump. The plan for him is to bowl on the 4th stump. So close to the line, but the umpire says no, it was wide. But ejected, though he will have to bowl it again. Akram and Sobuga
wanting to do 2 jobs, mastering none. Bowler and umpire should stick to the bowling. The umpire is the sole adjudicator out there. Another wide from Akram, trying to bowl to that edge of the rubs his hand in the lime, just to get a better grip.
More wides coming in from Akram Nsubuga. I think the idea for him is to make sure that to try and make sure that he gets that outside edge of Moses Achema into play, but not getting anywhere close to the lines.
Yes, trying to lure him into a cut shot. Point is out there waiting. No galleon slip, so changes bowling end, but with the same results. Ali Balidawa has words with him. Sometimes Subuga lives to play angry. That gets his juices flowing. But the psychologists will tell you that that is wasted energy expended. That will have you tiring soon. Some results.
Akram Nsubuga will just make sure that he can complete the over very nicely, because he's becoming too generous and giving out to many, something that could put his team in a very bad position, because clearly the previous over coming to this one was a maiden over. So Akram Nsubuga just not supporting Innocent Elvis Akena. He already gave away 7 in the first over and is still struggling in this over. Changing and coming right arm round.
Abdul Shakul Doka, ill-advised attempt at running the ball right in the wicket-keeper's hands, and you've already got an extra. So trying to get to the other end to get on strike, but the bowler is doing the batting for you, so needs to keep his peace. Unbelievably, only 3 Lego balls have been bowled in this over. Just needs to calm down, probably even reduce the pace. Better dot ball finally. He's changed the angle from which he's bowling at, has returned to right arm over, and the moment is strayed from what worked. Same results as the previous balls prior to the one dot ball. He's bowling very wide of the stumps. All pressure that had been created has dissipated, and that is much better from him. A very unbelievably long over. 18 for no loss at the end of 3 overs, and that generosity from Nsubuga sees the run rate spike from 3 to now just 6 per over. 8 wides coming out of that over.
For no loss after 3 overs. And the man who bowled a maiden over in Innocent Elvis Akena returns with the ball. Hoping that he bowls the good areas. He was flawless in his first over, but remember he was bowling to Moses Achema. So the fact that it's now Doka Abdul Shakur who is right on strike, there might be changing tactics. He will be needing to make sure that he bowls the good areas.
All the momentum that they had created, the pressure with the ball thrown away in the bin by the captain, but Akena now pulled one bounce, first boundary of the innings, second innings. Abdul Shakur Doka. You said yes, Achema was on strike. Now it is the more fluent Doka turning on that ball, pitched on the leg side.
And I tell you, Doka Abdul Shakur is very, very strong on the onside. So if Innocent Elvis Akena is to stand a chance of picking something when Doka is on strike, he will need to make sure that he doesn't bowl to the borderline, because those will be easy pickings for him. He will need to adjust his lines and bowl the good areas. Again, just guided along with the bat by Doka Abdul Shakur, and work to do by the sweeper as Doka and Moses Achema sneak through for the second run.
Great work from Trevor Kachanga, coming off a wide, fine leg. That ball played fine by Doka off his pads, thighs. You can feel the mood has already turned with that very long over, and they need to encourage themselves the more. Keep going.
Good comeback there from Innocent Elvis Akena, going off the body because Doka is very strong on that body line. He comes in and now balls it outside off stump, and he manages to pick up a dirty ball. Fine thinking, making sure that the Kachanga Giants can go on and defend their total. They didn't score many, but then if they bowl well, this game might go to the wire.
Two crucial wickets they need to pick up. The one being of Abdul Shakur Doka. That ball bouncing off the pitch, extracting some bounces. Akena, as I was saying, if they are to get Abdul Shakur Doka, Emmanuel Trijuche, then turn the screws on the remaining batters. Yes, they didn't make many, but they will make this a lively contest.
Yeah, they only get a chance of making the contest lively if they can get rid of some of those batters. Doka Abdul Shakur, Emmanuel Trijuche, you can all come and snitch the ball, snitch the game away from you. There was an appeal of a catch, but the umpire not moved. From where I'm sitting here, I didn't hear anything, but it's a dirty ball from the umpire.
We will have a second look. That ball hitting the forearm of Abdul Shakur, nowhere near the bat. Well seen by umpire Liz Nachibude.
Innocent Elvis Akena going pace off completely, and he manages to get another dirty ball. Good thinking there from the young man.
Had the responsibility of doing a repair job. Only 6 coming off that over. He's yet to pick up any economy of 3 is tremendous. Run rate remains at 6 per over. Score is 24 for no loss for the Nsonga Royals. Abdul Shakul Dokha striking at 100%, 12 in 12. Moses Achema down in the 30s, 2 in 12. Ali Balidawa helping out his captain Akram Subuga to direct traffic. And we have a bowling change from the highway end. Mugisha Victor gets hold, comes into the attack.
Mugisha Victor coming in to replace the captain who had already gone for many in his first 2 overs. Mugisha Victor also plays for Mukono Development Cricket Club. And he was at this very ground yesterday playing for his club in the domestic league. He now returns showing out for the Kachanga Giants. Good work there done by him as the over starts with the dot ball. He'll be hoping he can just continue. Pace off, but that will go down the leg for a wide.
Mugisha and Achema, 2 men closely linked, started their cricketing journeys together at Mukono Kings High School. Members of that team that tried to qualify for the boys' finals, beaten by St. John's SS and St. John's Kauga, unable to leave the group. But now find themselves at Uganda Matters Sunday, a new school that has been onboarded by Mukono cricket community. Their talent earning them bursaries. So don't stop encouraging your youngsters to participate in sports, and more particularly cricket. Chema trying to play square that ball. Another precious dot ball from Mugisha. Loses his line. Wicket keeper not firm with the glove work. Pick up 2 for that. Another wide. Mugisha undoing all the good work that he started with in this over. The stamina and fitness levels being examined in this tournament. Doka picks up 1. Nsonga Royals coming off that loss against the striker where they lost by 13 runs under DL method, having they almost sneak a second run, but Achema running in between the wickets, leaving a lot to be desired. Hit that ball right behind, and Subuga Akram tries to calm his troops down. Another wide. Mugisha trying to bring the ball back into the batter. His head falling away. His arm nowhere near his head. That ball going down the leg side. Last ball of the penultimate over of the power play. Hard shot in from Abdul Shakul Doka. Only manages to find his opposite numbers, Moses Achema, who does the fielding for the Kachanga Giants. At the end of the 5 overs, the score is 31 for no loss. Run rate of 6.20. Could have picked up plenty of runs off that, but for that direct hit, so you would say, from the bat of Abdul Shakul Doka. The mid-wicket conference between the first pair for the Royals. Feel that Abdul Shaku has to bat and bat deep if the Royals are to get close to this total at the beginning of the innings, just requiring above 5 to pick up victory. Ali Balidawa makes his way into the bowling attack. He will be coming in from the forest end. Off spinner with plenty of variety. And Moses Achema guilty again of presenting a twisted bat with the face pointing at point, no pun intended. A tame shot, no movement whatsoever from the fielders, waiting for that ball to come to him. They pick up 1. Final over of the power play. Sends out the man to cow corner and long on, with Abdul Shaku Doka on strike. A very vacant mid-wicket region. Adjust the man from deep mid-wicket, sends him to cow corner. Quicker ball, wide of stumps. Doka into cutting that ball, but it is a dot ball. Many of these spinners learning the tricks of the trade, the quicker balls, the one that drifts in. Well played from Doka. Uses his feet to get to the pitch of that ball and picks up 2. Not a good effort from the fielder. as I was saying, the spinners learning the tricks of the trade. It is very unadvisable to be a one-trick pony, because then you become very predictable and the batters will wait for what you have to offer and dispatch you. So balls that one quicker. Doka uses his feet, picks up one. Some respite from the sun. But the power play is done and dusted. 6 overs on the completed. And Nsonga Royals have 35 for no loss. Not very far off from the Giants, who are 37 for no loss at the same point in time. New man into the attack coming from the forest end. Rakib Mbaine. If you observed Mbaine over the course of the tournament so far, he's a very slow spinner, balls wicket to wicket. And the field is set for him. Long on, cow corner, long off. A wide extra cover. 4 men patrolling the boundaries. That ball turning back in. Abdul Shakul Doka going back and punching it through mid-off. Flights that one up. Kenna sliding and almost making a complete meal out of that one. But they pick up one. I beg your pardon too. You have to wait for that ball from Mbaine on half tracker, half-hearted effort from the bowler, and if you cannot keep those ones to dot balls, who will? Flighted, long barrier, Trevor McChanja, man who was in some sorts of trouble in the first innings, receiving a rib breaker from Peter Ochen, had to retire hurt, but seems okay now. Better ball. Flighted. Good pickup. Bringing us to the end of over number 7. The score is 41 for no loss. Nsonga Royals on the charge. Abdul Shakul Doka 18 in 20. Moses Achema 8 in 22. 6 coming off that first Mbaine Rakib over. The Giants will have to get some wickets, and quickly enough, as this threatens to be a procession from the Royals. Ali Balidawa back in the attack. Field changes being implemented. Akram Subuga directing traffic. A missed stamping opportunity. Ali Balidawa draws the man forward, but guilty of trying to play that ball up to the onside rather than straight on. That should be a catch. No need to move from the man at mid-on. That ball kicking off the turf. And Akema rising with it, but offers a term catch. The first wicket to fall for the Nsonga Royals. Score is 41 runs for 1 after 7.2 overs. Oh, that ball hitting a crack and turning to the turns viciously, swipes at it, unable to connect well. Innocent Akena didn't have to move to remove Moses Achema. A decent job, you'd say he has done, keeping Abdul Shaku Doka company. But in comes the new man making his debut today in this tournament, Emmanuel Twijuche. I told you that the weather here at Florida Cricket Oval very unpredictable. A few moments we had some sunlight. As we take a look at those highlights, the wicket of Achema falling, but the clouds gathering on the far end. Bearing in mind we are close to the lake shores of Lake Victoria. The teams participating in this competition named after landing sites within this Greater Nkokoronjeru area. 2 balls bowled so far by Ali Balidawa in this over. Emmanuel Twijuche, the man on strike. Right off the mark. The Giants would not mind the singles, and the Royals as well will use those to keep the scoreboard ticking. Right in the block hole. Rocks back on the back foot. Quicker running, picks up 2. And just like that, 8 overs are completed. Score is 45 for the loss of 1. Ali Balidawa bowled 2 overs, picked up 1 vital wicket, concedes 8 at a current economy of 4 per over. Short of the over with the sun gone. But we are hoping that there will be no rain on this match day number 11. This is match number 21. There will be another affair happening between the Katosi strikers. Against the Sunrisers in the afternoon encounter, but Rakib continues. Deft touch. Trijuche guilty of not making a start as that run was available. Flighted. Good cover. Keeps that to 1. The Royals feeling that as long as they are keeping them to the singles and doubles with no boundaries, they're still in with a fighting chance. And the Royals realizing that as long as the asking rate is below 5, they're well within a shout. Plays back to that one, stays low, goes down to examine that portion of the pitch. Twejuche. The toss, the pitch seemed to be cracked, experiencing some sunlight on the previous day, but Trijuche uses his feet well to get to the pitch of that one. Plays it through mid-wicket, picks up another very quiet over from Baine Rakib so far. Abdul Shakul Doka going for the spectacular reverse sweep. Picks up another boundary for I told you that as long as you are predictable, then the batters will devise ways bowling the same line, but not realizing that this time the young man is offering a reverse, picks it up on the bounce, goes over Gali, picks up 4 runs. Final ball of the second over from Baine Rakib. Good effort in from the man. There keeps it to 1. The boundary rider in Trevor Makchanja. Still a good over, you would say, from the young Rakib Baine. 7 coming off that one. 9 overs done and dusted. Score is 51 runs for the for 1 wicket lost. Abdul Shakul Doka 24 in 25. Emmanuel Trijuche 4 in 5. Giving you a run rate of for the Nsonga Royals at 5.67. Mugisha Victor makes a return into the bowling attack, changing ends to come from the Forest end. Required is 57 runs to win for the Nsonga Royals at just over 5 runs per over. Well within manageable proportions. Starts off with a slower ball in the slot. Subuga Akram stares at the batter, tells him you need to field and make the ball dead as soon as possible. Tujucha not staying in his crease, plays down that ball to backward of square leg. Pick up to have a word with his batting partner in Abdul Shakur Doka. Very, very quick between the wickets, and he feels that the gentle running of Tujuche leaves runs on the table, and it's absolutely right. Trying to play that off his body, unable to do so, picks up a dot ball. Mugisha Victor Royals trying to make it 2 out of 2 versus the Giants, as they also won the first encounter between these two sides. The Royals winning by 9 wickets. That ball quite far away from the man. The man coming also from the deep, taking a slip. And the bowler will not be happy to what would have been an obvious one turning into 2. Good sportsmanship from Akram Subuga, helping Tujuche with some housekeeping so that we can proceed. Walks down the track. The ball is right on the money. Dislodges the bells to give Mugisha his first wicket in this contest. The Nsonga Royals lose their second wicket, having scored 56 runs in the process after 9.5 overs. That ball jogging off, probably over crack, hits the bails. Top stuff from Mugisha Victor. And with the demise of Emmanuel Twijuche, Peter Ochen is the new man in. Final ball of this Mugisha over. Soft touch there from Peter Ochen. Resultant into a dead ball. Halfway through the second innings, the Nsonga Royals trying to overhaul 106 runs for victory, have lost so far 3 wickets. And posted 57 runs. The graphics will be updated for you very shortly. And there is another bowling change here at the highway end. Watwa comes into the attack. That ball indicated by umpire Ruston Alumansi, as Waswa did not release that ball whatsoever. And his over is just now underway. Some mind games there at play. Doka, soft touch to pick up that single to bring the new man in, Peter Ochen. Yet to get off the mark, having first only one ball that was closing the previous over. Peter Ochen able to hit a very long ball. Two fielders congregating together where there seemed to be no danger at all. The long barrier instituted, but the body not behind the ball, leaving a gap underneath. Ochen picks up his first runs with the boundary. Welcoming back my colleague Ivan Cyprian Sajabi.
Happy to be back again, but the Kachanga Giants will feel guilty of giving away many easy runs. Where there was no run, they end up picking something. And now they are still making sure that they get more runs. 2 wickets gotten by the Kachanga Giants, but not proving to be enough. Because these batters of the Kachanga Giants have made sure that they keep, I beg your pardon, the Nsonga Royals have made sure that they keep looking for the remaining runs for victory. And when you look at the scores, more 46 runs are needed in 57 balls. There is an appeal. Appeal of run out on that weight, but the umpire says no, that wasn't hit anything.
Very good ball from John Owaswa. Draws the man forward. And good instincts from Akram Subuga. Diving to that ball and manages to throw the ball to the stumps. Doka desperate, as you will see in that highlight, to get back to that one. The bat is in the air. Nothing on the bat there to connect. Abdul Shakul Doka, resulting in a stamping. Good work from Akram Subuga. Some redemption for him. The third wicket falling for the Nsonga Royals. Score is just 62 runs for the loss of 3 after 10.4. You felt that that was the wicket that they really needed, and they were going at an even pace.
Dr. Shakul rushing, but he was miles away, just throwing his bat back instead of making his ground. He was not in the frame, no contact. He threw his bat back to the crease. Yet if he had held onto that bat, he had a clear chance of surviving that one. And in the end, that's the disappointment and frustration that you see on the face of Dr. Abdul Shakul, because he knows he's left a very big task for his team. Christian Mulindwa is the new batter coming into the crease. And again, Akram Subuga trying to go for that wicket again, and he just misses that one completely.
A minor debate ongoing between myself and Ivan Sajabi, man of many trades, not only a broadcaster but also an umpire in this league, whether that was a stamping or a run out.
And I think it was a run out, because there was an attempt by Doka to run. That's what makes it a run out, because what you would have made it a stamping is if you get out and then you stamp it in your ground. Also, the wicketkeeper has to be having the ball, but it's run out because Doka was running, and then the ball was just thrown by Akram Subuga to wipe off the bells.
Great enlightenment there, Ivan. Certainly, I agree with you. Stamping, the ball has to be in the wicketkeeper's hands. And Abdul Shakul Doka trying to turn back, and that bat falling out of his hands. But Peter still there. And they need to just go at a sedate pace. Ball still in plenty. Slower ball in the slot. Ochen using his long levers. The first John Paul was over, coming to an end, conceding 10. But involved in that wicket over Bruce Shakuldoka. 11 overs done and dusted. Score is 65 for the loss of 3 wickets. New batting partnership. Christian Mulindwa joins Peter Ochen. All haven't faced double figures in the number of balls, but Mugisha Victor will continue from the forest end. The sun sometimes offering respite to those Kachanga Giants fielders out there taking a breather, but the action is non-stop. Mugisha starts off with a dot ball, and I think now there is renewed energy within the Kachanga Giants ranks, realizing that a key wicket has fallen. So if they keep pushing, they can strangle these ones. Another wicket will see the cat among the pigeons, certainly. Tries to play that one, but it's in the block hole. Another dot.
Mugisha Victor still bowling the good areas, and he's not been giving away many runs. He's given away just 11 in his 2.2 overs that he has bowled, and he also has a wicket. He made sure that he gets Emmanuel Tujuche bowled, making sure that he keeps his side in the game. It will be a lot of work to do for the Nsonga Royals, but Peter Ochen, being the man, they are still getting the runs, making sure that he rotates strike and keeps the runs coming for the side.
That respite from the sun was very, very brief, and well, if you're out there, you will feel it certainly on your back and arms. No need for sunscreen. God has done all the work for the black man.
And I tell you something, Solomon, somewhere in Uganda it's raining. In the areas of Entebbe, right starting from Chitende. I've been seeing some updates here from some of my friends saying that it's raining that side. We just hope that the rain stays away so that we can continue with this beautiful game. Mugisha Victor still coming in with the ball. He also plays from Kono Development Cricket Club. Hurt Akram Soboga because he didn't get hold into the ball. The ball went on and hit his hands, and momentarily he will have to continue with the glove work, but in a lot of pain.
Olindwa is quite out of touch. Yes, certainly now in the S5 at a new school. Ghana Matters Sunday did not appear anywhere during the long holidays, vacation to train. That should be his second innings, but he's unable. That comes up top in the batting order, but clearly out of touch.
And now Mugisha Victor using that advantage to squeeze in some dot balls. He's gotten those balls that are angling into the batter Christian Mulindwa, just making sure that he doesn't give him room. Third man and faintly great at boundary fences for Mugisha Victor. Mugisha Victor also has a sister who plays the game of cricket in Hope Tandeka. But that dot ball marks the end of the over. Just a single run coming from the over. And as we come to the end of the 12, 66 for 3 is the score.
These two teams evenly matched in their scoring. You felt that there was a starter during the Kachanga Giants innings, right in these middle phases. Some is happening out there. Two teams evenly matched with the same records in the tournament so far. Played 6, won 3, lost 3. Ochen moves to the pitch of that ball, and great work from Mugisha Victor, running in from wide long off to stop that within the boundaries to keep that to 1. Great work.
He had to run and cover some distance, but what I like about Mugisha is that when he's a tall man, but when he's doing the ground fielding, he always moves with the bowler from down, and this means he gets a lot of chance and he keeps the ball under his watch. There is a no ball call from the umpire there as that ball from John Paul lands outside the playing area. And now this will be a chance for Christian Mulindwa to throw his arms at it. But the free hit coming at a time, I would feel that if they had Peter Ochen on strike, something could have happened, because there has not been a lot of attitude being displayed by Mugisha. I beg your pardon, by Christian Mulindwa.
Frees his arms finally. Goal going above the man who was at mid on. Picks up boundary max. Sorry, not boundary maximum, but just 4 runs. My point was that there has not been very many boundary maximums in this encounter. People must have had a long weekend, and you come up that when you're playing on Monday morning, who knew, Ivan, that Mondays would be also for cricket?
Wicket time through the lines. Christian Mulindwa thought it was another free hit on the offer, but this time round it's no. That ball rolls through from John Paul to the furniture, and another one for the Nsonga Royals goes.
Bowling. That ball tries to create room, but that ball was in the slot, middle stump, dislodged. Then look at that ball.
Yeah, he got one angling back in John Paul, and it was a very hard ball to hit by Christian Mulindwa. The ball keeping low. Mulindwa swinging his bat early, but not keeping his shape. And that's the frustration on his face as he walks back to the dugout. 72 for 4 as another one goes. And you give credit to the Kachanga Giants. Every time there is a growing partnership, they make sure that they come out and they break it as quickly as possible.
Good work from the Kachanga. And as we talked about Mulindwa being out of touch, in the first innings we saw that shot of the man leading the batting charts. Has 1 half century, 2 back-to-back centuries, Robert Oweri, right there in the nets. And sometimes batting is all about timing. Technique is there, but the timing not coming. So he could do with finding a friend to go and throwing down at him. But Newman is a joke Francis.
Yeah, Francis a joke, missing out in yesterday's game for Mukono Development because of a niggle. But then it's a Monday and another chance for him to help his side with a bat. So he has to make his way and score some runs. Francis a joke. He is a left-handed batter. Those are typical left-hander shots. Just gets it and gains it along with the bat. Work to do for the wicketkeeper Akram Musubga, chips in a half dive to cut off that one from racing to the boundary. But his effort in saving that one is squandered away by his teammates because they don't get hold onto the ball. And the 3 more runs will be added onto the total by Francis Ejok and Peter Ochen.
That ball to his legs, and we know left-handers very adept with those balls. A good shift in there from the wicketkeeper running from behind the stumps to collect that ball. And now that field is changed, a man is put out there.
Yeah, and now when you're bowling to lefty-hander, you don't want to bowl to the pads because they prove to be so good in hitting those balls. But now Peter Ochen will take the liking to the bowling of John Paul. Full toss and hit down the ground with power. There's a fielder. Fine stop there from Victor Mugisha. He keeps low and makes sure that he cuts off that one from going to the boundary. Receives an applause from his teammates. But what an effort.
Puts in a shift coming from wide-ish. Redeems himself. Had that ball that went under his feet, but now twice in a row keeping the ball within the boundary ropes, denying Ochen boundaries.
They know they didn't score many runs, so if you're defending this portrait, you need to make sure that you put everything right, mostly the fielding. A no ball call from the umpire. Second one in the over. John Paul trying to bowl outside off stump, but in the end he pulls it outside the playing area. Unfair, and he will have to come for the free hit.
So the man advancing down that pitch, and he tried to go wide-ish to the wicket keeper. Went way beyond the playing area. Ochen with an opportunity to swing those long levers.
Free hit. Peter Ochen taking his time and making sure that the gloves are not slippery. He has them firm because the free hit is a ball to hit and a chance to maximize. Swings hard, and that one should go all the way. Yes. Peter Ochen manages to clear the boundary at cow corner, and he ends up the over with the maximum. What a show there from Peter Ochen.
A slow half tracker gets into position, pulls it powerfully to hit the embankment just below the dressing rooms, bringing us to the end of 13 overs. 84 for the loss of 4. Nsonga Royals on the charge now. Peter Ochen 16 in 11. Francis Ejok 3 in 1. John Paul receiving some harsh treatment from the batters. Ball 2, conceded 28, picked up 1, an economy of 14 so far. Tough times for the young man, but you live and learn.
28 in these 2 overs, and 14 of those, I beg your pardon, 18 of those coming in the second over. It was really an over to bring back the Royals in the game, and somehow they are now close. Victor Mugisha will be coming for his final over. He's not been going for many. He's only conceded 12, but you know the captain will make another change, and Ali Balidawa will be the man to bowl. Balidawa Ali has so far bowled 2 overs, conceding just 8 runs and picking up 2 wickets. And now he returns with the ball in hands.
Adjustments to the field setting by the captain, sends out a point, covers. Man, 3 men out in long off, long on, cow corner. Ali Balidawa from the forest end.
Akram Musoboka just keeping his body there to make sure that he stops the ball. 24 more runs needed in 41 balls for victory. Full toss, hit up in the air. Man running underneath it, and yes, Akram Musoboka doesn't put down many, gets hold on to that one. Francis Ejok comes, and Francis Ejok departs.
Ejok has the bad habit of leaning on his bat. He needs a better back lift. Look at that. Back lift is very, very minimal from him. Mistimes that ball. ball. Subuga Akram under that ball that went in the sky for a while. No need to take the gloves off as it gives you a higher catching area. Completes the catch. A joke departs. The Kachanga Giants have gone halfway through the batting lineup of the Royals with some just fewer runs required to complete this innings, but wickets create pressure. Newman in will consume some balls, keeps the set Peter Chen away from strike. So Ali Valida with the ball and the man who has some variety to offer.
And I tell you, the departure of Francis Ejoko is that he was trying to overhit the ball instead of looking for the placement. If he had just looked for that gap, maybe he could have had a chance to take on the bowling. And now, because Peter Chen has been there 16 of 11 and is really shown that he can hit the ball because of his muscles. So when you get the ball, you just need to make sure that you're rotating straight to make sure that Peter Ochen hogs more of it. Don't overhit. But Mustafa Mtwalibi is the new batter in. Mustafa Mtwalibi's problem in this tournament has been the stand and deliver. Instead of having a low stance, he's been showing and trying to hit, and that's why he's been always knocked over. And you look at him, he's nowhere close to controlling that one. And the quick ball from Ali Walidawa will race all the way to the boundary. Very uncalled for. Go pace off, make sure that you extract the turn from the surface, and out of nothing, the Nsonga Royals pick up a boundary.
Certainly, Ivan, needless one, and having not communicated to the wicket keeper. Sometimes you need to develop a language between the bowler and the wicket keeper, just like it is in baseball. As the catcher, that man who stands behind the batter always agrees with his pitcher on what ball he's going to throw. But
and I tell you, the idea from Ali Walida was good because it's a new man in. The feet have not yet been tested. So you have to try and make sure that you go for the quick one to see that you could beat him for pace. But in the end, it goes the way of the Nsonga Royals. And as we come to the end of the over, 4 runs in the over. And after 14, 87 for 5 is what the Nsonga Royals have.
yes, the point you made was right. Trying to surprise the new batter in, and he particularly did that, except that the wicketkeeper did not take a hold onto that ball, which would have made it a dot ball.
Akramosobuga now taking the pads off, and he will be coming in to bowl, giving the pads to Luja Ashraf. Sorry, it's Ali Valida who will be coming in to do the keeping duties. He's bowled 3 overs, conceding 11 runs and picked up 2 wickets. Ali Valida, but at this level of cricket, you need to make sure that your all-round abilities can all be used by the team. So Vogakram has gone for many in the first overs that he has bowled so far. 18 in 2 overs, and he will be hoping that he does make sure that he bowls only the good areas. The weights have been a bit costly, and his field set up long on, long off, extra cover and deep mid wicket right at the boundary. Akram Osubuga coming in to look for that breakthrough. Down the ground, fingertips onto it. They are pushing quickly for the second run because Mugisha was a bit sluggish, and in the end the second run is taken.
Poor field management from Akram Subuga. He's having this man run from one end of the pitch to the other, so you can cut him some slack. He's been racing, as we saw in the previous overs. Stop those balls that involved a lot of running. Something similar to this does the job. So, doing a great job.
Yeah, when you look at that double, as soon as the ball got onto the blade of Peter Ochen, you clearly had the sound and you knew that they were going to push quickly for the second run. They take the second run. Akram Nsonga very disappointed because he feels the fielding is undoing him. He is really bowling the good areas, but in the end the fielders are not coming to the party, just hoping that they can do better, because Akram came in to bowl this over looking for that breakthrough. He knows Peter Ochen can steal the game away from them, so he's hoping that he can get him out. Another shot of power there from that man, and what could have been a single again results into a double.
Mugisha Victor in the wars at long off, picking up that ball, throwing to the right end because he knows they need that wicket of Peter Ochen. Has some words at him from his captain.
Pushing quickly for the second run, but Innocent Elvis Akena very superb, cutting that one off to just a single run. But good running between the wickets, Mutwalibu Mustafa and Peter Ochen. Peter Ochen knows that his side needs to win this game and he's made sure that he sticks in. He's so far scored 23 of 15 and he looks to be carrying his team forward.
One in the block hole from Akram Nsonga. But you feel that with Peter Ochen still there, they should get home a slower ball, dot ball, bringing us to the end of the 15th over. 7 runs coming off the third over from Nsonga Akram. The score is 95 for the loss of 5.
More 15, more 13 runs from 30 balls for the Kachanga Giants to pick up victory this afternoon. 4 of 6 from Mutwalibu Mustafa and 23 of 15 for Peter Ochen. Peter Ochen, really that player who can snatch the ball away. They're just exchanging gloves. Now it's Ali Walidawa coming in to bowl his final over. And I think now for Peter Ochen, he will be hoping that he doesn't get out in this over. Don't take on Walida because he's bowling his last over. Stick in there. There are other bad bowlers will be coming later. Then you have the chance, because those runs may look few, but then you leave his team in a bad place.
Well said, Ivan. Quicker one into the pads from Balidawa. No need to take any risks at the moment. Plenty of balls to play with. You need to have a cool head on your shoulders. Not play for your own, but for the team.
Takes a shimmy down the track and accesses that one very nicely. Peter Ochen guides it to the boundary. They will go for 2 runs. And yes, they take the 2 runs. What a placement there from Peter Ochen. Creating room and just making sure that he squeezes it into that small gap to bring up another double. Vital one for his side.
He's looking good for his money. Gets to the pitch of the ball, and I hope all the other lads are watching. Pins him. Ali Walidawa tries to go to move out of the crease. Sees him coming. Pins him down.
Power coming in from Peter Ochen, straight as we would love to see it. a couple of bounces, and that one should race away to the boundary. Yes. Boundary. The effort there from Mugisha Victor running in from long off to cut that one off goes in vain as another boundary is brought up by Peter Ochen. And that boundary not only puts his team in a good position, but it brings up the 100 runs onto the board.
Swings for the heavens, connects. Valiant effort there from Mugisha.
More creativity there coming in from Peter Ochen, just forcing that one into the gap. Fielders with work to do. Beautifully cut off. Akram Osobo got very dejected because he feels that his team is not really putting in the efforts to win this game.
Ochen not falling for that trick, as we saw between the Bangladesh and Pakistani teams. The batter trying to pick up the ball and being run out. He's run well.
When you speak about that Bangladesh-Pakistan game, you feel that the run out wasn't really in the spirit of the game.
Certainly.
But we come to the end of the over. Alibadi, there was a spell going for 20 runs and he's picked up 2 wickets. And after 16, 104 for 5 is what the Nsonga Warriors have on board.
2 runs.
Only a boundary away for victory. 4 more runs needed. And it's game, set and match here at the Florida Cricket Ground. The Kachanga Giants winning the game by 3 runs.
It is quite anticlimax.
They have won by wickets, but again, even showing him won by 3 runs. And I don't know.
No, they won by.
They can't win by. But they can't win by
wickets,
runs.
I think. Yeah, they can't win by
I
runs.
think the Super Eagles are
But
supposed
they
to
are
win.
saying then the other guys are supposed to win. What is happening?
Actually, better Deco Giants in Chiba winning instead of.
Let me first ask the scorer. The other guys have more runs. They still have overs.